Find a way into the eye of the storm. Save the world and get the girl. She call me Jason Bourne.
In this video of Halo of Duty Hardline, I decided to show you the gold camos on the three main bolt action snipers in the game. To get the gold camos you need 500 kills with the bolt action snipers. Well, in fact with any gun. All the guns have got a gold camo if you manage to get 500 kills with them. Which is just an insane amount, which I was never going to get. So I asked a couple of friends of mine, Danny Fabbles and Varox, if they could lend me their accounts, because they've already got these. So this is me playing, but it's on their account, so that I could obviously get footage with the gold snipers, because I'm never going to manage to get 500 kills. Now I had heard that if you put a gold camo on your sniper rifles, then you just by default snipe awesome. Didn't find that to be the case. So down to the gold on mine is fool's gold, but it kind of feels that way. However, I persevered and then unlocked Magnum ammo and everything was good again. Because that Magnum ammo, which is one of the unlocks for the AWM and the R700, it does like 35 damage to the back of cars and vehicles when you shoot them. It's better than the grenade launcher. So things became substantially easier once I'd spent the $100,000 unlocking it. I have a feeling that they may have to reduce that because there's no point picking up the RPGs at the moment. You can take out anything with a sniper rifle. Well, honestly, Magnum ammo is nuts. Like, it's the distance you can shoot somebody at to the chest where they just die in one hit is... I mean, it makes the snipers a lot easier to use than they are in Battlefield 4. There also seems to be less sway as well on them. So you can kind of compete even at medium distances with assault rifles. It does replace the straight pull bolt though, so you have to scope out after every shot. This is a cool trick. Jumping across here. I don't know if this is intentional. It was like the obvious place I thought to get across here. I'm sure somebody else has seen this, but you can get up on the top of here. I'm not sure if they intended people to get up on here, but for sniping, because you can drop down in here as well, it is really good. There's some weird like invisible walls on the top of here, so I'm guessing they probably didn't intend people to get up, but it does give you a pretty good advantage point over the street. These guys didn't even realise where they were getting shot from. And if I was a SWAT guy, I would be straight up on here. The highest point is always the best point when you're sniping. I don't know what people think about these gold camos. I think they look nice on the gun. I can see who they might appeal to of a competing FPS game, to Battlefield Hardline maybe. But they do look nice, at the very least. This is the R700. It's a bit different to the AWM because it's got a faster fire rate, but it's also got Magnum ammo. So I think it's pretty much the fastest sniper rifle to take out vehicles, the R700. Cracking start to the round, this one. Although there was instant karma for me from the enemy team. Here, that guy just leaning out the back window with his grenade launcher. In fact, that wasn't the... I didn't realise because I thought I'd said it to the gold one, but this is, in fact, the gold camo. That last one was the bronze one, but they do look pretty similar, the two of them. In fact, speaking of graphics and things, I was reading an article yesterday by Digital Foundry. It was like a digital effects kind of thing. They compared the graphics between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline, and according to them, the graphics have actually gone down slightly in Battlefield Hardline, because I don't know what it was, but there's something called like ribbon effects or something like that, where, you know, on like really thin things like power lines, they look jagged in Hardline because that effect isn't in, but it was in Battlefield 4. And they also said that anisotropic filtering, which is like a texture kind of thing, it makes the textures look muddier at distance, like less defined at distance in Battlefield Hardline than they do in Battlefield 4. So it's not the case that in every game graphics get better, because according to these expert guys, that's not the case. Although the game does look better, I think, when you're playing it than it perhaps does on YouTube. And this was another funny little thing. That guy, he got out to mount up his friend's driving when he drove into that pillar, and then it took him out. But there's some funny stuff like that in this game. It's a bit more sort of cartoony and, you know, bit of fun than Battlefield 4, I think, was designed to be. Speaking of, I met these guys again. Who I didn't know. They just did this the whole game. I'm not sure why. But maybe you just needed to get home quickly. I lived over there in Brooklyn or whatever. They released the graphical settings for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One today. It turns out that the game is going to pretty much be exactly the same as Battlefield 4 is. So on the Xbox One, the game's going to run at 720p at 60 FPS. Although, from what I heard on some of the bigger maps, is actually going to drop below that from people who've actually played it. So I don't know if it's going to be constant 60 FPS, but I would imagine the vast majority of the time it probably is. And this is the Scout Elite, which has the most gold of all the sniper rifles. But on PlayStation 4 it's going to run at 900p, so it will look a little bit better on there. Also at 60 FPS. And I don't know whether or not that had the same issue of, in big battles, losing some frames. So it, you know, feels a little bit... I'm not sure how bothered people are actually by FPS and such. It does matter on PC, but because I don't really play much console, I don't really know how big a difference it makes on there. Back to the snipers though, getting blinded by the gleam of the glow on the Scout Elite here. Got my own sniper sound generator there. That's a decoy device. You see the white things on the map. It produces those, so enemies think there's more teammates around you. It plays like bolt action sniper sounds and things like that. I'm doing the trailer here. Didn't get a helicopter to fly over this, and I died pretty quickly since it's... as soon as you're up here, you're the target for absolutely everybody on the map as soon as you kill one person. Because there's no scope then in this game, so people can snipe you really, really easily. Like this guy across here, who I kind of only saw him because he's got a motorbike parked next to him, which I originally thought was him. But it turned out he was terrible, so I was pretty lucky there because I was on 2 health. I like how his name was One Shot Zero Kill as well. I thought I'd show you this. This is one of those graphical things which I think are a bit of a downgrade from Battlefield 4. This is basically the Gulf of Oman dust cloud that's rolling in. But look how weird this effect becomes. Like it's... my eyes were like trying to... because it's blurred at distance, but in focus close up, my eyes were like trying to focus the blurred stuff in the distance. It actually made me feel weird whilst playing. Like a little bit motion sick in this cloud. So I really hope they fix this and make it more like the one that was in Battlefield 4. But I do like the Scout Elite of these snipers, even when it's in a dust cloud, because with that, there's no pressure on each shot with this gun, because it fires like 85 rounds per minute, which is pretty close to a DMR, really, a semi-auto. So you can get those one-shot headshots, and it's really, really effective. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just wanted to show you what you can get if you persevere through 500 kills, and I shall see you guys in the next chapter.